from the word translation, we'll see a translation is come from the word translate, to translate words, right? So translation is a process of rendering written contexts from one language into another language, content rather, language into another language. Correct translated text or words will convey the same meaning, emotions, and intent as the original message. It will also take into account any potential differences in cultural and praising translations in the communication of the target language text. So, the English language draws a terminological distinction. Why? Because of under distinction, translation can begin only after the appearance of written within a language of the community. So, written translation. In written translation, guys, we have we have to translate a word in a right way. So, this is ways of translating a message or writing translation. So, first is keep it simple and direct to the point. Why? Because if you can say it in 10 words rather than 20, make sure you do. Why? Because if you don't get direct to the point, some of the meaning and nouns you're trying to convey might be lost. So, because if you are trying to explain not directly, there are so many ideas that come up to your mind. So, it will now it will mix up, and the main point of the um, things that you want to convey will be lost, right? What's more, keeping things brief means you're doing yourself a favor. Remember, translation is charged by word. So, consistent of word choice. So, if you are translating, if you are going to translate the words, you need to be consistent of word choice. You may well have had it drummed into you at school that you should never be repetitive. Should never be repetitive when writing, but in the case of writing of translation, consistency, it is the key, as it prevent any ambiguity, if possible for the sake of clarity. So if you are going to if you are going to translate, it is necessary to repeat the words you have to convey in order for them to be clarified, right, and to be understand to the audience. Short short sentence are also huge bonus, guaranteeing that multiple ideas don't get mixed up together. So, the other one is to avoid idioms. It is very important to avoid idioms. There is a time and place for idioms, and that's definitely not in any text that intend for translation. Idioms rarely translate uh, literally from one language to another and will only overcomplicate things. So that's why we need to avoid idioms. So in writing translation, or writing a translation text, there are three stages. So these stages is composed of translation, editing, and proofreading. First is translation. Translation means to render a text that is in one particular language. It is the accurate transference of information or in order to represent the original document to the target document. This step is typically done with computerized assisted translation tool or the CET. So that's it, guys. So the one who translate is the um, computer using a tool of CET. Also, second is the editing. Editing is a field of translation that referring to reviewing that has been completed in the uh, previous steps. The main goal is not only translating but revising segment, ensuring that the translator has made documents that they have completely understood the text. So the third one is proofreading. So proofreading is a final stage. Proofreading or correction stage. It should not be necessary to to the journ refer to the original text. This final review focused mainly on the premise that the translated text sounds natural and reads smoothly in the target language. In addition to detect any consistencies with regard to punctuation, capitalization, document formatting must also be checked for possible uh, issues to fonts and image and for any typographical errors. So that is proofreading. So in proofreading, guys, so we need to inconcise to detect inconcise. We need to do a proofreading to detect the inconcise things you made in your translation text, right? So in order for it to be in order to avoid errors or what we call typographical errors. So that's it, guys.